welcome back to my channel. This video is a collab, which is kind of different because I never do collabs on my channel, never done a collab in my entire life. So it's different, yay, I didn't already said that. This is a collab with my friend Eloise. She's got a channel which I'm going to link in the description, so go and subscribe to her. Give her video a thumbs up. Do all the good things because karma comes back around and good things will happen to you too. We are doing the Furry Friend Tag, so basically if you don't know what that is, it's basically, I just said basically twice. It's where you answer 10, oh my god, I can't. You answer 10 questions about your pet. I'm sorry about my weird hand, I can't move my finger still. Answer 10 questions about your pet, whatever pet you have, or if you're me and you have multiple choice of pets, just whatever pet you decide. I have 6 pets. I have 3 horses, a dog, a cat and a rabbit. So I had a nice wide choice of pets to choose from for this tag. But the one I'm going to base this video on is my horse called Crunchie. He is the horse that I got first out of all 3 of my horses. I've had him for the longest, and I basically grew up into teenage years with him, so since I can't have him here with me because obviously I'd have to be outside and horses don't stand still very well, I'm going to insert old photos and old videos of me and him together over the top of this. So when I'm talking, videos and old photos will play so you can see us. Okay, the first question, what is your pet's name? He's called Crunchie. I didn't name him that. He was already named that when I got him. That was a really short question. What kind of pet is it and what breed? Quite clearly he's a horse. He's a New Forest pony, so he's come from the wild depths of the New Forest in the UK, which you won't know about if you don't live in the UK, but in the UK we have this area of massive miles of forest, and it's called the New Forest, and there's a lot of wild horses there. So when you go to the New Forest you can like see all the wild horses, which is pretty cool. Question 3. How long have you had your pet friend? I've had Crunchie for 5 years in November. I got him a few weeks before Christmas. It was like, I think I got him on the 21st of November. Question 4. How did you get your pet? Oh my gosh, this is such a long story. My mum had a friend who she worked for, and she had horses, and my mum worked on her yard. A yard is where you keep horses if you didn't know, or a ranch if you're American. She worked on her ranch, and let's give her a name. The woman who owned the yard, let's say she's called Penny. That's not actually her name. But Penny moved yards to a different yard, and they had a young girl there who was, I think, a year or 2 younger than me, and she was looking for a horse to buy, and Penny found an advert online for 2 horses that were for sale. One that was my size, like the right size for me to ride, and one was the right size for this young girl to ride. Let's call her Libby. I got taken along. Libby went to try out this smaller horse that was for sale, and I went to ride the bigger horse that was for sale, which was Crunchie, and had a ride on him. It was all fancy, everything like that. I really liked him. I didn't have a horse at the time and I wasn't really looking for one, but since Penny had told us, oh hey, there's this horse for sale that's the right size for Charlotte, of course I wouldn't say no to that. So then we got a call later that evening to say that the owner of the horse, Crunchie, and his the one that Libby was trying, which was called Soda, said she wanted to give us Crunchie and she wanted to give Libby Soda. So we were like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. So Crunchie's owner, like at the time of before I got him, his owner was going into surgery for 6 months, and she couldn't look after the horses anymore because she was going into surgery and she'd have to be on a long recovery and all that. So she kind of said, I can't really look after them anymore, so I just want to give him to you and you can have him for as long as you want, he's yours. Didn't want any money or anything, so we were just like, oh, wow. And I was really excited, and that's the story of how I got Crunchie. Question 5. How old is your pet? Crunchie is actually an old horse. He's 26, which in horse years is about in his 70s. I think he's in his 70s. So he's an old man, he's an elderly horse. He was 21, he was 21 when I got him, which is quite old, but I was only 10 years old and I wasn't that experienced. Yeah, I've been riding for 5 years, but I've been riding really placid horses and I had no experience with like crazy horses, so I didn't want to get a crazy horse. Okay, question 6. What is your favourite memory with your pet? My favourite memory with Crunchie is probably, so when I first got him I had a lot of goals that I wanted to achieve, and one of those goals was to be jumping a certain height. So I hadn't done much jumping for the past 5 years before I got him. It was only very small fences and stuff because I was riding with a group of people and we weren't allowed to do much jumping. So I'd only jumped very small fences on small horses, and I had a goal of jumping 70 centimetres, and I said to myself that was what I was going to achieve with Crunchie and that I really wanted to jump that high. So I got more and more confident with Crunchie, trusted him with my life, I still do, and it got to the day where I was jumping and I don't remember if it was my mum or my trainer put the jump up to my goal of 70 centimetres, and I was really nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, I've never even jumped this high before, like never even jumped above like 40 centimetres before, how am I going to do this? I was freaking out. And Crunchie was so good, he just went straight up to it, over it, and it was amazing, and it was the highest, still to this day I think is the highest I've ever jumped, which is so bad. Question 7. What are some quirky things about your pet's personality? Quirky things. Oh. Crunchie is literally the cheekiest horse in the world. He's so funny, and I think one of the quirkiest things about him, some people might see it as dangerous, but I really don't, is oh, actually, this is so hard because he has so many things that I love about him. I think one of the quirkiest things about him is that when you try to tell him to do something that he doesn't want to do, he'll put his ears back. Ow. He'll put his ears back, which means they're angry for anyone who's not a horsey person. And he like kicks his back leg out. So if you're on board or on the ground, if you try to get him to do something that he doesn't want to do, he swishes his tail and he kicks his back leg out. Not viciously, just cheeky, because he's like, I don't want to do what you're telling me to do. So when you're on board, because he's old and he's stiff in his legs and he's too old to be doing much exercise anymore, when I do actually get on him and like ride him around, if I ask him to do something more than walk, if I ask him to like get out of walk into trot, he like kicks his leg out and gets all like sassy about it. It's really funny. I have said this a million times to people that I know, and my mum and my dad, and literally everyone I know knows this. I wouldn't be me without my horses, and Crunchie especially, because as I said before, I had a nasty accident before I got him, and I just lost a lot of confidence in horses, and I didn't want to do it anymore. And I don't think I would have ever quit. I don't think because of the accident I would ever have said, no, I'm never getting on a horse again. But I was nervous, and there was, couldn't see myself doing anything else. Like, yeah, I'm good at other things. I'm good at drawing, and I'm good at other things. But I don't think I would have a hobby if it wasn't for my horses, and I wouldn't be the same person without them. Because they become a part of your lifestyle, and like, if I had to imagine my life without my horses, I think I would crumple up and die. The first horse I had to myself, and the first horse that I spent so much time with, on board and just on the ground being around him, and we created such a bond to where he would follow me around everywhere. So even if I didn't have him on a lead, he would just follow me everywhere I went, because we had that trust and that connection. I don't think he would anymore, because he's a cheeky little bugger. I had a lot of goals that I wanted to achieve when I got him, and he's restored all of my confidence, taught me that I can do things that I didn't think I could. And he's just been such a fun horse, and I can't... It's really sad because he's getting old, and I know that it might only be a few years until he passes, and like, thinking of being without him is really saddening. What are some of your favourite pastimes with your pet? Gymkhanas. No, people who aren't horsey on this channel won't know what a gymkhana is, but gymkhanas are basically where you do activities on your horse. So there'll be a cone with a tennis ball on it one end and you and your horse the other end, and you have to get on your horse, go over to the cone really fast, pick up the tennis ball, go back the other end, things like that. There was things where you had to like run on the horse and like get off, then do hula hoop and then go back, and like, you had points for the different activities. And me and my friend used to set up our own gymkhana games. So we used to put tennis balls on top of cones and used to run and get them and like race back. And one of my favourite pastimes is doing those, where I just used to jump on Crunchie and like run for the tennis ball and like have races and stuff. It was really fun. What are some nicknames you call your pet? Oh my gosh. I used to call him Big Red when I was 11 or 12, I think, because to me, even though he's small to me now, like, he's Diddy. When I first got him, I thought he was giant because I was so short. So I used to call him Big Red because he's got like reddish brown fur. Crunch, Crunchy Munch, Muncher. What else have I called him? I think Crunchy Munch is probably the nickname I use most. Like, when I go out to the field, I'm like, Crunchy Munch, and he's like, hello. That was the 10 questions. I hope you guys enjoyed that video and you got to know a bit more about one of my horses. Again, go and check out my friend Eloise. Her channel link will be in the description. She done this video on her pet hamster, so go and check that out. This video a thumbs up and follow my social medias, which are linked down below as well. Go and follow them. I post pictures of my horses all the time. Subscribe to my channel if you're new for weekly, daily. Join this community. We're a fab bunch. Hope you guys have an amazing day. Stay positive, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!